Whoa. It's before noon. You can't come in here typing things like that. Better wrath. Hello though, welcome. I'm gonna solve some Sudoku. Xuno's here. Hello. I just felt like it. I got all these games to play, and I was like, no, today is numbers. I don't know about this BGM. I tried to find some Atelier series background music to listen to, and stuff I kept finding would have lyrics in it all of a sudden. This one's a little bit more jaunty than I was going for. We'll see what it serves up after this. I got these puzzles. James Sinclair, you can see, is the author of the puzzle. More puzzles like it at artisanalsudoku.com. You can sign up. You give them your email, and you'll get 3 puzzles a week. I've been saving them because they're easier, so they make for good puzzles to solve on stream. And then I never streamed Sudoku for like 6 months, so I've got a lot of puzzles in my email inbox. We could try to blast through as many as possible, or maybe I'll switch and do something else, or maybe it'll be a short stream. I don't know, but if you're interested in solving your own Sudoku puzzles, artisanalsudoku.com, the place to do it. I'm gonna scooch my keyboard. Okay. So this is a normal Sudoku puzzle, but it's got some killer cages and some quadruple circles. I'll explain what those mean. So normal Sudoku rules. We need to. Every row, column, 3x3 box contains all of the digits from 1 to 9 once each. The killer cages are these colored cages here. Digits do not repeat within cages, though that's obvious in this puzzle because digits don't repeat inside boxes. And also they sum to the number in the top left corner. And then these circles tell us that these numbers need to appear somewhere in the 4 cells around the circle. So I guess I'll start with this. 17 and 2 cells, that's a very large total. The only way to do it is with the 2 highest numbers, 8 and 9. And then this circle tells us none of these can be a 9. So that's got to be 8 and 9. Now the next 2 highest digits I happen to know, 7 and 6 add up to 13. So now this is forced to be exactly 7 and 6. And then the circle tells us that this can't be the 7. Worth mentioning, by the way, because the circle has 4 different digits all around it, there's only room for those 4 digits. That's why 7 and 9 had to be scooched away. So these are 2 and 4 in some order. These are 1, 3, and 5 in some order. I'll pencil mark things in the center when I'm saying this cell can be a 2 or a 4. 7 and 3 cells has to be 1, 2, and 4. It's the only way to do it. So let's look at this 9. The 9 that we know has to appear here somewhere. It's not here, repeating in the row, and it's not here, so it's there. Which means one of these is a 3. I'm going to pencil mark that like this. Whenever I put one in the corner, it means I'm saying within this box, the 3 goes in one of these 2 places. And that looks over here and says, well, we can't have a repeated 3 in the row here. So 3 comes out of there and is forced here. The 5 here is now saying that there's no 5 in the row here, so 5 in this box is there somewhere. And I think maybe now we look somewhere else. 2, 3, 4. 23 in 3 cells. 9, 8, 6 is the only way to fill it. You may be surprised that I'm able to just conjure those numbers out of thin air. It comes with... I'm not doing any math in my head. It's like a lookup table. You do enough of these puzzles, you encounter the same sorts of sets of numbers, and you just kind of remember them. It can help to start with things like the triangular numbers, right? If you start with 1, And then you add 2, that's 3. If you add 3, that's 6. And then 10, and then 15, and then 21, and then 28. Those numbers come up a lot, and then sort of the inverse of that is 9, and 9 plus 8 is 17. 987 is 24. 986 is 30, then 35, then 39, and so on. So this is very close to 24 in 3 cells, which has to be 987. And so if you come down by 1, the 9 can only come down to another 8, so you'd have 886, and you'd be repeating 8. If the 8 came down, you would have 977. So it's only the 7 that can come down into a 6. That's why there's only one way of filling this cage. Now we have this 9 and 8 healers looking here, so that sorts that out. 1 and 7 are here somewhere, and we have this 7. So that's a 7. One of these is a 1, and that's removing 1 from here. This 5 now. We got something going on with 5s. There's some symmetry in the puzzle. And maybe now we look over here. This is sort of the inverse of this. Instead of very high numbers, these are very low numbers. The only way to do 3 is 1 and 2. And then this circle tells us that the 2 needs to be in the circle and the 1 needs to be out. 3 and 4 are the next 2 lowest numbers, and the circle again tells us the 4 is in, the 3 is out. 4 can't be here, so it's here. Which means this gets resolved. That's the 4, that's the 2. The 2 looks over, gives us 2 and 1. I'm going to go ahead and fill in these 3 digits to complete the row. 6, 7, and 5. These are 6 and 8, and we have a 6. Sixes. Look at these squares. So in this box, the 6 is here, and it's exactly where the 3 is. So if one of these 2 is a 3 and one of these 2 is a 6, we know these must be 3 and 6 in some order. So I'm going to change this to a 3-6 pair like this. This is 5, 7, and 8 in some order. That's not 5, so it's 7 or 8. Oh, the 7. Neither of these is 7, so that's the 7. These are a 5-8 pair. And I guess I'll just go ahead and fill in the rest of this row as 1, 3, 9, which means this is 2, 4, 8. And we have this. Don't think we're quite ready to use that. We have this 3 that sorts out the 3, 6. This is 5, 7, and 9. And we have this 7. So 5 and 9. The 9 tells us they go in like that. The 5 looks over, gives us 5 here. The 1 also gave us 1 here. So these are 2, 3, and 4. We have a 3 and a 4 looking at this, so that's got to be a 2. And 8. Should I just fill in all this stuff? Why not? It's good practice for me to sort of eyeball which 3 digits are missing from the row. Vertical I find is harder. I can't tell you why. I guess it's because brains read left to right. Yeah, see? It's much slower for me to pick out the digits. Have some similar looking numbers here. And then I'll do this column, I guess. 5, 6, 7. Very similar to this. Definitely some symmetry going on. Okay, so this is not a 2, 4, or a 9. So these need to be 2, 4, and 9. So that's not 1 or 7, that's 2. That's not 1 or 7, that's 9. Are we ready to look at this? No, this is different. We knew that this was 5. We don't know that this is 5. If this is 8, that's one of the digits the circle is asking for. We know the 4 is there. Okay, let's use this final piece they've given us to finish the puzzle. 1, 6, 8, and 9 are going in here. 2 of them are going in here and adding to 9. So which 2 digits add to 9? Well, it's not 9. Otherwise, we would need to pair with a 0. And 6 pairs with 3 to add to 9. So we don't have 3. So it's got to be 1 and 8. Which means this is 6 and 9. Please get your jokes in now. That gives us nothing particularly earth-shattering, to be honest. Okay, the 1 here gives us 1, 7. 1, 1, and 1 mean that in this box there are no 1s anywhere there. No 8s, one of these is 8, and then one of these is 8, and those are the last 2 8s in the puzzle, so not very helpful, ultimately. Didn't get rid of 9 here. Whoops, what did I do? I held shift accidentally. What are we missing here? 4, 5, 8? I'm a little bit surprised this didn't just kind of fall apart here. These are 3, 5, 7 or something? We have all of these digits, yeah. So these are 3, 5, 7, and this is not 5 or 7 because the 5 and the 7 are here. So that's a 3. Wait. This is 5, 6, 7. That's not 5. Wait, that's a 5. Okay, I've just put in the wrong numbers here. This is 4, 8, 2. And that's not a 2 or a 4. I wonder if I made a mistake earlier, or if I just filled this in wrong recently. I think we're okay. I think this... Basically, we had a 5-8 pair, and this 5 has been here for a while, putting 5 here. Just like it was here. Continuing the symmetry of the puzzle, so that's on me. But it means that 3, 7, and 8 now need to live here, so that needs to be a 3. These are 7 and 8 in some order, and this 8 tells us that that's not the 8, so that's the 7, that's the 8. The 7 looks up, gives us 7, 1. That's not 7. This is 1, 8. These are not 8. That's not 1. Oh, it's also not 3. 9, 1. The 9 looks down, gives us 9, 6. These are not 6. 5 gives us 7. I think maybe I missed some more to do here, but I'm looking at this, and this looks easier. This is a 9. So that sorts out this, which then sorts out this. These are 2, 3, and 4, and this is not a 4, so it's a 2 or a 3. Oh, okay. putting up a fight a little bit. 2, 3, 5 to finish this box. Here's a 2, 3, 5 triple. 3 cells that all see each other, so we can't have any repeats. And they're from the same 3 candidates. So if you put 2 into one, you can't put 2 into the others. So those have to be 3 and 5 in some order. You make 1 3 and the other is 5. Regardless of what order you do it, these 3 cells are always 2, 3, and 5 in some order, and so any other cell that sees these 3 can't be 2, 3, or 5. So this one can't be 5, this one can't be 2. Didn't really set the world on fire. I don't think I've forgotten to use any information from the circles or the cages. So it's just some Sudoku I gotta find here. 4, 5, 6, the 7, right? Yeah, okay. 5, 6, 7. 2, 8, 6. 4, 5. 4, 3, 2, 5, 3, 4, 4, 2, 2, 8. Boom. Nice and simple. Just a small mistake missing the 5s here in the middle, but otherwise pretty smooth. On to the next one. I like these ones from this email. They're a great introduction to these sorts of Sudoku puzzles. So this one has 3 different types of clues than we saw in the last puzzle. It's still a Sudoku. I don't know why it defaults me onto lines here. Every row, column, and box contains all the digits from 1 to 9, but now we have thermometers. Like a real-life thermometer, digits get bigger, starting from the bottom of the thermometer, the bulb, as you go up to the tip. So if this were a 3, this would have to be 4 or bigger. This would have to be 5 or bigger, 6 or bigger, 7 or bigger. So if you knew that's a 3, this is actually limited to just 3 possibilities, 7, 8, or 9. That's the sort of logic of thermometers. We also got some dots. White dots are consecutive numbers. Black dots, a little more complicated. They're in a 2-to-1 ratio. So 1 and 2, or 2 and 4, or 3 and 6, or 4 and 8. I'm not sure if it'll come up in the puzzle, but it's often important to remember that 1 and 2 shares the 2 with 2 and 4, which shares the 4 with 4 and 8. So 1, 2, 4, 8 are sort of like a family of dots. And then 3 and 6 are kind of off on their own. I guess I'm drawn to this, right? This couldn't be 4 and 8, for example, because 8, 9, we would run out of space. We'd have to put 10 or something in there. However, so this can't be 4, but if this were 2, we would have 1, 0. We would run out of space this way. So this can't be 2 or 1 or 4, but it needs to be the smaller of a pair. So it has to be exactly 3 and 6 here, with 7, 8, 9 after, and 3, 2, 1 before. So that's nice. This has no 6 or 8, so it's either 1, 2 or 2, 4. So one of these is always a 2. One, 2, 3, and 6 all missing from here, so the only pair left is 4 and 8. Now not much really jumps out at me. We do have this big thermometer. It can sometimes make things clear. When you mark all the candidates on a thermometer. So If this were 6, for example, 7, 8, 9, we would run out of space. So 5 just barely works. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 5 is the highest this can be, and because of this 1, 2 is the lowest it can be. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the way the candidates work as you go up the thermometer is basically you shift, you know, if you imagine the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 written here, right? 2, 3, 4, 5 is sort of this. And as you go up the steps of the thermometer, you kind of do this. The next one is from this range, the next one is from this range, the next one is from this range. This is from 3, 4, 5, 6. This is from 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7, 8. And 6, 7, 8, 9. That can be as low as 3. So 1 and 2 are in here somewhere. But that could be the 1, and this could be 2, 4. The 1 and 2 don't need to be together on a dot. Oh. These are a bunch of high digits looking at the end of this thermometer. So we can't make this thermometer too big at the start, or we're gonna run out of room. In fact, the highest this can be is 5. So the highest this can be is 4. The highest this can be is 3. So the highest this can be is 2. And it's not 1, so it is 2. And this is 3, and this is 4, and this is 5. Two and 3 are interesting numbers to be looking at this. I think those expertly rule out 1 and 2, and 2 and 4, and 3 and 6, so the only thing that's left is 4 and 8, and this 8 tells us which way around they go, even. Which takes 8 out of here. The fact that this can't be 8 means that this can't be 7, or this is too small. And then the fact that this can't be 7 means that this can't be 6 for the same reason. Often, possibilities will sort of cascade like that on thermometers. And these 8s don't go here, and they don't go here on the thermometer, so it's here on the black dot where it must pair with 4. So that's not 4. So this can't be as low as 5, or this would be too big. See, now it's cascading the other way along the thermometer. And finally, this 9 tells us that needs to be 7, so this is 6, this is 5. This is 3 or 4, but the 3 tells us it's 4. This 4 and this 4 are looking here and telling us that neither of these is 4, so this needs to be 1 and 2. This doesn't have 4, 8, or 6 on it, so it's not 3, 6, it's not 2, 4, or 4, 8, it is 1, 2. Meaning that this is 3 and 9. Well, this can't be 3, because, and we would have to put a number between them on the thermometer. It would have to be a 2 here, which would clash. So that's not the 3. This is the 3. That's a 9. This is surprisingly limited. With this looking at it below, this can't be 4, 8, can't be 2, 4, and it can't be 1, 2 because that would have nothing left that it could be. So this has to be 3, 6, and because of this, we know the order even. Which means 3 and 6 are up here somewhere, and 3 and 6 are not consecutive to each other. So one of them needs to hide in the corner here. And the other is with this dot. So something consecutive to that 3 or 6 lives here. If it's 3, it's not the 4 that's consecutive to it. So either this is 2, 3, which it's not. Otherwise, this would have no value. So we're not putting the 3 here. 3 here can't partner with 2, and it can't partner with 4. So the 3 hides here. This is more complicated than I think this puzzle's supposed to be, but this is what I saw, so we're going with it. Which means the 6 is here, and that it's not consecutive with 7, so it's consecutive with 5, and this 6 tells us that it goes there. How about this? Is there something similar going on here? It can't be 1 and 2, or that cell would have no value. It's not 2, 3, or 3, 4. It's not 4, 5, or 5, 6, or 6, 7, or 7, 8. So this is exactly 8, 9. Which gives us, that's an 8, that's a 4, and this row is missing a 1 and a 2. So we have a 1, 2 pair in the row, or the column rather. 8 also. Resolving which way that goes. We're running out of information. This is going to be a regular Sudoku puzzle pretty soon. Things like noticing one of these 2 has to be a 4 are going to become more relevant. 2, 2, and one of those being a 2 eliminates all those cells. 4, 4 puts 4 here or here. If that were a 4, it would have to be 3 and 5 on either side of it. We could put the 5 there and the 3 there, I think, just fine. We might need to think, because this is, you know, this is consecutive to this, is consecutive to this, we have a string of 3 consecutive numbers here. Because, you know, we can't go like 5 up to 6 and then back down to 5, or we'd be repeating the 5. So we have to keep going in the same direction. So 1, 2, 3 would mean this had no value. 2, 3, 4 would always have the 4 at the end, and it's not. So it's not 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5 we're looking at, and it's possible. 4, 5, 6 would have 4 at the end. 5, 6, 7 would have 6 in the middle. 6, 7, 8, we don't have 8. And 7, 8, 9, we don't have 9. So actually there's only the one possibility. It's that 3, 4, 5. So this is a 4. These are 3 and 5. There's a 7 here. 1, 2, 7, and 6. 6 and 7. Don't go here or here. So this is a 6, 7 pair. So this is a 1, 2 pair. We got some 1, 2s all over the grid. You can do something kind of interesting here. This is a 1, 2 pair, right? One's 1 and one is 2. Let's just color one of them. We don't know whether this is 1 or 2, but we know that this one is different. And then in this pair, we know that this one is different, so we end up proving that these are the same. And you can kind of keep doing that. In this is blue. So in this is green. And in this is blue. This sort of coloring technique can be pretty powerful, because all of a sudden we now know the blue 1, 2 is not here or here. It's in here. And actually, because of this 1, 2 pair, it could never go there. So this is the blue 1, 2, we can say now. The green 1, 2 is a little bit... It has 2 places it can go, right? It could go here or here. Yeah, we're buckling our shoes with all these 1, 2s. We're missing 1 digit. Oops, here. What is it, 5? Let's fill in the 5. We have 5 digits here. So we're missing 5, 7, 8, 9. Well that 5 was helpful, wasn't it? This 5 says there's no 5 here, there's no 5s here, and now this 5 we just found says there's no 5 here. So in column 7, 5 has to be there, leaving us with 7, 8, 9 to place here. I guess I'll go ahead and mark that in, but don't think we'll need it. The 6, 7 pair tells us that that's not the 7. Well, I guess we'll look at this last dot. We can't put 1 here. Yeah, this is going to help us. 1 here has to partner with 2. It's the only consecutive digit, and that's not the case. So there's no 1 there. one of these is a 1. And now we can use our coloring technique to know that this is not 1, it's 2. And therefore all the blue digits are also 2, and all the green digits, therefore, are 1. I'm seeing 4s. There must be very few 4s left in the puzzle. Yeah. Down here. That's 4 and that's 4. We're also missing 3 here. One of these two is 3. Ah. These 3s are giving us 3 here, so that's not 3. That's 3. And then this 3 is putting 3 there. I think that's all the 3s, right? Yeah. I have a feeling one of these, yeah, the 5. Where does 5 go in this box now? Only there. So these are 7 and 1 to finish the box. So that's not 1, that's 1. With 1, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're missing 6, 8, and 9 to complete this column. So these are from 6, 7, 8, 9, huh? So they're either 6, 7, or 7, 8, or 8, 9. Looks like that's going to be the final disambiguator in the puzzle. One of these is a 2. Maybe let's look up here. So we have 6 digits. So the missing 3 are 1, 7, and 9. Well, I'll fill them in. That's not 7. The disambiguator, yeah. Pretty dramatic sounding. So this is 2, 1, 7. That's not 7. So one of these is 2. One of these is 9. Uh, 6 and 7 to complete this column goes there. That's an errant pencil mark left over. 1 and 1, whoops, gives us 1. So it's 6, 7, and 9 missing here. One of those is 9. 5 in this row. I thought we had all the 5s, but apparently not. 5s. Let's look at this column. Missing 7 and 9, and the 7 gives us 9 and 7. So that's 6, 7, 6. 7, 9. 8. Okay, 8 was an important one to find with regards to this. This can't be 9, 8, and it can't be 8, 7. So it needs to be 6, 7, which leaves that as 9. 8. 9, 8. It gives us 6. 9 puts 7. So this is a 2, 9 pair. This 9 gives us 9, 2. The 2 gives us 2, 2. This is a 1, 8 pair. Finish off this. This is missing 1 digit. It's an 8. So that gives us 8, 1, 1, 1, 7, 7, 9, 9, 6. Very nice. We got more. You can't see them. I cropped them out. I got 2 more. And then we'll have to see what we're gonna do after that. We could do a nicer, a bigger, a more difficult puzzle from Cracking the Cryptic, as opposed to these more digestible ones, now that you're all warmed up. So let's see. Oh, clones, okay. Arrows, and then the white dots are back. So the white dots, I think, this is, whoops, I'll never get used to that. The only familiar element, I think, from the other two puzzles we did. These are a pair of consecutive numbers. Again, I bet this was just added as a disambiguator. So what do we have? We have arrows. The digits along the arrow sum up to the number in the circle. So if these were 1, 2, and 3, that would be a 6. And then these would also have to sum to 6. And then we've got these squares. These squares are clones of each other. So the top left corner, the same digit goes in there. The same digit goes in here. The same digit goes in here, and vice versa. So not vice versa, but and so on. For every cell in the cloned region. So I'm sure we can do some pretty interesting mathematics, right? Like this cell has a relation to these and these, but they're the same number. So that is interesting. I guess I'm just gonna start with this big arrow. We can only put a single digit number in here, right? We can't put 15 into a single Sudoku cell. So 9 is the maximum we're looking at. But these 3 cells are already adding to quite high a number, even with the 3 lowest, right? 1, 2, 3 adds to 6. 1, 2 here is the next best we could do, because we can't repeat any numbers in this column or this row. So those add to 3. So 6 plus 3 is 9. We needed the minimum numbers in here just so that we could make the maximum number in here line up. Yeah, no, I'm taking a break from Sophie. We're doing something else. Welcome to Sudoku. And thanks for stopping by. Some people would be like, oh, he's not playing that game I wanted to see. All right, I'll come back later, you know. But you clicked in. Good on you. So we know this is true, right? We needed to minimize these and maximize these in order for them to ever possibly have the same value. So that means we can come to our cloned region up here. We just got some new faces in, so I think I'll go over the rules again. The numbers on this arrow add up to the number in the circle, and then these square boxes are clones of each other. So I know this is a 9, so I know that this same number is a 9. I know these are 1, 2, and 3 in some order, so I know these are 1, 2, and 3 in some order. These are 1 and 2, so I know these are 1 and 2 in some order. So where do we look next? We know that these add to 9. So this is either an 8, 7, or 6. So this is either an 8, 7, or 6. That's not very helpful. 1, 2, and 3 are here. So what are the lowest digits we could put here? 4 and 5. Which add to 9. So if these were any bigger, this would be too big for a Sudoku digit. So this is what we have to do. That puts 4 and 5 here and 9 here in the cloned region. We're left with 6, 7, 8 to complete this top right box. So these are 6, 7, 8, and that's pretty interesting for this cell. These add to 9. So this is a 3, 2, or 1. So this is a 3, 2, or 1. So this adds to 9 with 6, 7, or 8. But hold on, because this number is the same. I'll even shade it. But we know that this adds to 9, and this adds to 9, and these are the same number. So we need the same number to get to the same 9. So these two are the same. But this corresponds to this, and this corresponds to this in the clone. So actually all of these are all the same number. And they're from 6, 7, and 8, and I thought that would be useful. I mean, I can see this purple number, whatever it is, it goes here somewhere. I'll mark that like this. And so it goes here somewhere. How is this not more helpful? I guess I can see things like if one of these is purple, that's not purple, and then so by the clone, that's not purple. And then this and this tell us that these aren't purple. So purple is here somewhere, which means purple is there somewhere. This has been a total red herring, hasn't it? We do get this. Purple can't be in this row, or this row, or this column, so there's one square here that purple is. But other than that, this has not been helpful. So what should we do? We can look at this arrow. This square is not a 1, 2, or 3, so it could be 4, partnering with 5 to add to 9. It could be 5 partnering with 4 to add to 9. It could be 6 partnering with 3, but it can't be 7 or 8, because that would partner with 1 or 2 here, and this 1-2 pair is looking at it. It would surely be a repeat of one of these 2 digits if we put 1 or 2 here. So 4, 5, 6 here means this is 4, 5, or 6. And we almost have information about every digit in the cloned region. And we've almost used every arrow. So there is this arrow, and this 1 or 2. There are 3 ways for 3 digits with no repeats to add to 9. It's either 1, 2, 6, 1, 3, 5, or 2, 3, 4. The 1, 2 prevents this from being 1, 2, 6. So it's either 1, 3, 5, or 2, 3, 4. So I guess there's always a 3 on here. Am I meant to think about 9s? One of these 2 squares is a 9? One of these 2 squares is a 9? The first time I've had to really stop and think. I mean, maybe it's time to look at this now, because we can see 2 numbers from 1, 2, and 3. So if we had 2 more digits from 1, 2, and 3, we would have 4 digits from 1, 2, and 3, and that can't work. We could have 1, 1, and 1, 2, and 1, 3, and then the 4th cell would be a repeat of one of those digits. So this can't be from 1, 2, 3. We need a number bigger than that. But we can't take 4 or 5 because of this 4, 5 pair. So now we can't have any of 1, 2, or 3, right? These need to be I didn't go over this actually. This is a pair of consecutive numbers here. That's what the dot means. So 1 and 2 are out because those are both from 1, 2, 3. 2 and 3 is out. 3 and 4 is out because the 4 is gone. And then 4, 5, and 5, 6 are out. So actually these are from 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not 9. I mean, this is a very small point, but where does the other 1, 2, 3 go? It's not any of these digits. And it's not this one, because there's a 1, 2, 3 triple looking at it, so it would be a repeat of one of these for sure. So that's a 1, 2, or a 3. This is a 6, 7, 8, or 9. It's not helpful. It's not what we're meant to be looking at. We can, in this sequence here, in this 1, 2, 3 triple, the 3 is not here, so it's definitely here and not there. Ah, so it's not here. So that's not 6. And one of these is definitely 3. Has that blown this wide open? We can do some more coloring. Whatever this 1, 2 is, it needs to be a part of this 1, 2, 3 triple, but it's not in the same row here, right? So these are the same number. And this is the same as this, so those are all the same number. So the green 1, 2 is here somewhere. Ah, the green... This work we've done down here has been good, actually. Because the green 1, 2 doesn't go here or here. So the green 1, 2 is somewhere here. Which means it's not there. And then it's not here, and then it's not there, and it's not there. So this is the green 1, 2 in this box. The green 1, 2 is not the blue 1, 2. Well, the blue 1, 2, 3. Because they see each other in the same row. So green is not here, it's not any of these, and it's not blue. So green is one of these 2. Oop. Mark that like this. The green 1, 2 is not in any of these squares, so it's here. This is complicated. One of those is the green 1, 2. One of these is the green 1, 2. This is not the green 1, 2, so the green 1, 2 is on here somewhere. I think our adventure kind of ends there. Oh, I've had this 9 staring at my 9 pencil marked here for a while. That's a 9. These 9s combine to put 9 here somewhere. Are we meant to look at this last digit? I think it can be just about anything. You see something on 1, 2, 3s? Oh, well, I'm seeing this. This was a cloned region. So if that's the green 1, 2, that's the green 1, 2. That's not. That is. In this 1, 2, 3, one of these needs to be this blue 1, 2, 3. And it's not the green one. So that's the blue 1, 2, 3. So that's the blue 1, 2, 3. So the blue 1, 2, 3 doesn't live here. And it's not this or this. So this is the blue 1, 2, or 3, which means it's not a 1, 2, or a 3, it's a 1 or a 2. We can take 3 out of all of these. So that's a 3, and that's a 3. That's not a 3. Okay, this digit needs to be the green 1, 2, I think. If it were not, it wouldn't be the blue 1, 2, and it wouldn't be 3 or 4 or 5, so it would be 6, but then these would need to be 1 and 2 to add to 9, and they can't. So this is the green 1, 2. That's the green 1, 2. And that's the final green 1, 2. We know the final position of every instance of this digit, whatever it is. We just don't know what it is. So these are either 2, 3, 4 or 1, 3, 5. Just flip a coin. I mean, if you wanted to speed solve, which is a real thing, there are like Sudoku competitions where you try to solve in the fastest time. Guess and check in that sort of way is a legitimate technique for going fast. But it's not what we're going for today. You may get to the answer faster, but one, you haven't proven that it's the answer by ruling out every other possibility. And two, the most important thing is that the constructor has made the puzzle with certain revelations in mind along the way for you to find. And that's the fun part. You would deprive yourself of the fun part if you were to sort of skip around them. I feel like I'm still missing something easy. I've ruled 1, 2, and 9 out of these squares, but just about everything else I think is still possible. Don't quite have a bead on this yet. Ah, okay, wait, that's not 3, so this is not 6. Purple is not 6. Okay, so this is 6. So this is 6 in the clone. So these are not 6. So one of these two is 6. If I knew that this was 6, that would not be 6, and this column 6 would need to be here. So this would be 6, 7, this would be 8, this would be 9. I think I know that this is not a 7 or an 8 though, right? If this were the other of 7 or 8, this would form a 7-8 pair, and this would have no 7 or 8, so it would be 6 and 9. They wouldn't be consecutive to each other. So one of 6 or 9 is here, and the other is here. I guess I missed coloring this blue. Oh, that matters. The only place for the blue one too is here. Does it really matter? Blue 1-2s. Okay, so this is the blue 1-2. So it's not the purple 7-8. I'm leaning really hard on these colors to solve this puzzle right now. So this has to be the 7-8. And that means this is the blue 1-2 here. So I've found the final positions of every 1 and 2 in the puzzle. I just don't know which is which. I mean, what are we getting at with this? Is there some problem if this is also a 4-5? Hey, McFruit. We clearly have some people who are willing to watch a little Sudoku. I don't know if we have too many people here who are avid doers of Sudoku. I've been doing stuff like this for like a number of years now. Which is why I'm trying not to be frustrated that I'm a little stuck. I mean, these are 6, 7, 8 in some order. So that's a 7 or an 8. We do know that it is purple. Look at this. Let's give it a new color, I guess. If this is the purple 7-8, that's the red 7-8. So this is not the red 7-8, it's the purple 7-8. Wait, why do I know that's 6? Yeah, I do know that that's 6, 7, 8. I know where the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 is. That's a 6, 7, or 8. It's not a 6. It's a 7 or an 8. And so it is the purple 7, 8. So that is the purple 7, 8, and that's all the 7, 8s. Kamikaze Maniac. A doer. Thank you for using my parlance. A doer of Sudoku adjacent puzzles. Do you mean like the stuff you would find on like Nickely or whatever, like Slitherlink and Tapa and Masu, those kinds of things? Yeah, those are cool too. I mean, now the red 7-8 is not anywhere here, and we already proved that it's not this, so the red 7-8 is here. So the red 7-8 is the one that's here, which, I mean, yeah, we know, because it's not the purple 7-8. But now in here, the red 7-8, oh, I'm going to color this whole grid. Oh, nonograms. Yeah, those get, like, automatic, right? You can probably enter, like, a Zen state. So the red 7-8 is not here, it's here. So finally, we know that this is not 6, so that's 6, so this is 6. Which means that's 3, and that's 9, and now we're really getting somewhere. So this is 6 here, in this 6, 7, 8 triple, so it needs to pair with 7 to be consecutive with something. So finally, we know that the purple digits are not 7s, they're 8s, which means that the red digits are 7s. Yeah, you should check out Cracking the Cryptic on YouTube. If you feel like the typical Sudoku you find in like a newspaper or whatever, the standard 3x3, is like kind of boring, and it's like, yeah, I get you. The variants of Sudoku that people are coming up with are kind of fantastic. And the nice British men on that channel are they're better at solving Sudoku than me. So there's that as well. We need a 3, 4, 5 triple to complete this row, and this 3 tells us that's not the 3. So now we have this 4, 5 pair, so that's the 3. I can see myself coloring all these 4s and 5s at some point. I think this cloned cell is going to be the thing that differentiates all of these final digits. We'll have to see. These 9s giving us a 9 here. So the final 9s in the puzzle are in this sort of shape. One of those is 7. One of these is 7. You're excited to see more puzzles? Thanks, that means a lot. So what can this be? Let me back up and pencil mark some 3s here. I think these can be 3s. Would mean that that was a 3. Oh, sorry, it's not a 3. Okay. It could be a 4 or 5. I think. Can it be 6? In fact, it is 6. 6 can only be here. Okay. That gives us 6 here, which is taking the place of 2 pencil marks, a pencil marked 3 and a 7. So now there's only 1 place for our 3 and 1 place for our 7. That's why we use these corner pencil marks to note when something is in 2 places. Helps you unwind some logic you've done earlier very easily. So there's a 3 and a 7 over here. So what? These are a 4-5 pair. These are 9-4-5. This is not a 9. That's one of my old pencil marks. So this is 4 or 5. So this is the other of 4 or 5 and 3. I guess I'll go ahead and fully pencil mark this stuff. So this is also 3, 4, 5. Except now I don't even know anything about the 3s, 4s, 5s. And then this is like 3, 4, 5, 7, and 6. Okay, the 6 we can do. 6 also was giving us 6 and 7. So here's the question. Do I make the 7 red because of all the other red 7s? Like there's no reason to do it anymore. The colors helped us differentiate between a pair of digits, but once we know which is which, I'm just doing it only because it looks nice. One of these is 7, one of these is 7, and that's the final positions of 7s. And we've done 6s now, haven't we? Yeah, that's all the 6s. Did I leave an arrow? I did leave an arrow. Yeah, the 8s. I mean, this is sort of like a formality, finishing off the 1s and 2s. It's this, though. That's the important one. That gives us 4, 4, 5. So we're not going to be coloring the 4s and 5s, everyone. Except this didn't unravel all of them, did it? These are 3, 4, 5. I've used the consecutive. I've used all the arrows. Ah, the clones. Once I know this 4, 5, I know this 4, 5. These are not 4, so that's 4. That's not 4, so one of these is 4. This, we know for sure, is a 4. So that's not the 4, that's 4, that's 3, that's 5, 5, 4, 4, 9, 9. These are 3 and 7 left over. These are 4 and 7, so the 4 gives us 4, 7, 7, 3, 3, 5, 5, and 3. Okay. I wonder if there was something more obvious than resorting to the use of color that I did. These usually don't get that tricky. Well, I have one more. This one was thrown in as an extra. I pointed you towards Cracking the Cryptic. Honestly, I think they're the best source to sort of get interested in Sudoku puzzles. But also, if you want to do puzzles rather than sort of like watch, or you want to do it, but the ones they do on that channel are too hard, then you should do the puzzles I'm doing. Artisanalsudoku.com. I can't seem to highlight it. Artisanalsudoku.com. You have to give them your email, so, you know, there's that. But they have some easier puzzles. That's what I'm doing now. This one, for example, was fairly straightforward. There'll be one in there I think that you can do even as you are now. Even everything you learn watching me do this one stream is probably enough to get you started on those puzzles. They'll send you 3 a week, or you can give them a bit of money, and then you'll have access to the entire backlog, and there's like literally hundreds of puzzles. Up to you. So, I haven't looked at this one. It's a 6x6, so we're dealing with just the numbers between 1 to 6 on this one. What am I doing? Please stop. Okay. 1 to 6. I think. We'll see. Maybe the rules are special. Each clue outside the grid is a 2-digit number that represents the X sum for the adjacent row or column. I've done X sums before. They're a little tricky to wrap your head around. 1 digit in the X sum is also a numbered room clue for the adjacent row or column. And the other digit is a skyscraper clue for the adjacent row or column. I know skyscrapers. I don't really know what numbered rooms are, though I have a guess. Okay, and then it explains what these things mean. So, an X sum is a clue that gives the sum of the first X cells in that direction, where X is the first digit in the adjacent row or column. So, this thing here, let's say it told us that the X sum clue was 13. But it would have to be a 1-digit number, I guess, right? In this puzzle? Each clue outside the grid is a 2-digit number that represents the X sum. Oh, okay. And then 1 digit in the X sum is also a numbered room clue, and 1 is also a skyscraper. Okay, so this is a 2-digit X sum clue, in addition to other things, but let's just think of it as an X sum clue. Let's say it said 13 here. It's saying that in the first X cells, they sum to 13, and X is whatever this is. So this couldn't be 2, for example, because that's saying that in the first 2 cells it sums to 13, so that would have to be an 11. That's not going to work. If that were a 3, now the first 3 cells sum to 11. You can see how this is really hard to wrap your head around. So these would sum to 8, so these could be 6 and 2 or something. you know, so if this was 13, I think this would be a valid xsum clue. Except I think I've added to 11 here. Yeah. 4. There, 13. This would sum to 13. And be a valid xsum clue for 13. But we don't know that this is 3, right? This could be 3. It could be 4 digits adding to 13. It could maybe even be 5 digits adding to 13. So if this was 13, we would know it was 3, 4, or 5. However, we don't even know that it's 13. It's 2 question marks. So we're going to have to move on and think about what the other rules are of the puzzle. Because in addition to being an xsum clue, each of these individual digits is either a numbered room clue or a skyscraper clue. So let's go over what those mean. I apologize. I didn't realize how complicated this was. This is going to be hard for all of us, I think. Okay, numbered rooms. A numbered room clue gives the digit in the nth cell in that direction, where n is the first digit in the adjacent row or column. So we've replaced x with n for some reason, but it's still talking about the first digit. So if this is a 4, the xsum is the first 4 digits, but also 4 is n for the numbered room. A numbered room clue gives the digit in the nth cell in that direction. So if the skyscraper clue were 13, either the 1 or the 3 would be the numbered room clue. And this would tell us that it's the 4th cell that needs to be either a 1 or a 3. No, is that right? The nth cell in that direction, yes. So this would be a 1 or a 3 for the numbered room clue in our example. I wish I could actually put that 13 in on the side of the grid here. So that's numbered rooms. And you can see how they sort of interfere with each other, right? If this were 3, this xsum needs to add to, in our example, 13, right? Well, the third number here is also part of the xsum. In fact, it's always part of the xsum. The xsum includes the first 3 digits. The numbered room is the third digit. If I make that 4, now the xsum is 4 digits and the numbered room is the 4th digit. So the numbered room is always part of the sum. So it can sort of interfere. In the example where this was 3 and this was 13, I would need to put a 1 or a 3 here. Well, it's not the 3, so it would be a 1. But now these need to sum to 13, which means this needs to be a 9, and I assume we're not doing that in a Sudoku that has 1 to 6, right? So now suddenly 3 doesn't work because of this addition of a numbered room clue. But there's not just numbered rooms. There's also skyscrapers, and these are also, I think, not very easy to wrap your head around the first time. Digits in the grid represent the heights of skyscrapers. There's a nice image. Maybe I'll see if I can find the visualization of it. Skyscraper puzzle. And then I go to images. Yeah. I just pop that over. And then maybe I'll zoom in on it. So the numbers represent heights of skyscrapers. So you can see this guy here. Do you have my mouse cursor? I don't see my mouse cursor in OBS. Properties, capture cursor is on, and yet... Oh, is it because of the zoom? I don't know. Okay. So this guy, he sees 2 skyscrapers in his direction, right? He sees the 2, and the 3 is taller than it, so he sees the 3. But the 1 is hidden by the 3, so he doesn't see it. So this 2 means he sees 2 skyscrapers. This guy sees 3, 1, 2, 3 in ascending order. This guy only sees 1 because the 3 is so tall it blocks out the others. That's how skyscrapers work. It shows you the number of skyscrapers you see from that direction. I think I'll keep that image around in case I need it. Wow. And then we have this thermometer, which we saw in an earlier puzzle, where digits increase from the bulb. So this digit is lower than this digit, which is lower than this digit. Normal 6x6 Sudoku rules apply. So we're dealing with the digits from 1 to 6 here. I guess I'll even start by pencil marking. This can be a 1, 2, 3, or 4. If it were 5, this would go 6, and then this would be a number we don't have in a 6x6 Sudoku. So this needs to be bigger than this, so it can't be 1. So it starts at 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it can't be 6, or this would be too big. And then this is 3, 4, 5, 6. And apparently, with absolutely no digits given, we'll be able to solve this puzzle. So each of these X-sum clues is at least 2 digits. So we're never putting a 1 in. We're never putting a 2 in either. If the X-sum clue is 2 digits and one of them is 2, the other is going to need to be like 9 in order to get to a 2-digit number. I assume I can't have a 0 here. 0 can't be a numbered room clue, because that would put a 0 into the grid, and it can't be a skyscraper because you're always going to see at least one skyscraper, so there's no 0 in the digits here. Yeah, so 1 and 2 are both too small. So these are always 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, if it's 6, we've got a problem with the skyscraper. No, we don't. Six would be the tallest skyscraper, right? So one of these would need to be 1. The X-sum would be all 6 digits. So the X-sum would have to be 21. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 add up to 21. So the 1 in 21 would be the skyscraper clue, and the numbered room clue would be 2, so the 6th digit would be a 2, and that's fine. 6 is possible. We do have to consider that this one is doing double duty here. This digit is the X-sum indicator for this, and the numbered room clue for this, and the first skyscraper for this, and for this. So maybe we should be focusing here. I think 6 is still possible. 1 would be the skyscraper clue for both. The numbered room clue would make both of these 2. Like, that seems okay. So I guess let's think about 5. The skyscraper clue would have to be 1 or 2. It would be exactly 2, actually. You would see the 5 skyscraper. That would cover everything but the 6 skyscraper, which you would definitely see. So the skyscraper clue would be a 2. And the 2 would have to be the 10's digit. The 1's digit, rather. If it was 21, you would need to see every number, but we're not, because the 5 would mean we're only seeing 5 numbers. And if it were 20, the numbered room clue would have to be a 0, which it can't be. We can't put a 0 into the grid. So the 2, if this were a 5, the 2 skyscraper clue would be the 2nd digit. So 12 would be the number. But can an X sum clue, can these sum to 12? They can't. The lowest we could put in here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That adds to 15. So 5 is not a valid starting number. I think. I need to go over that again. If it's a 5, the skyscraper is definitely a 2, because you see the 5 and the 6. The 2 can't be the tens digit, because this would add to 20 or 21, and we can't do that with 5 digits. So it would have to be 12, which we also can't do with 5 digits. Okay. And that didn't have anything to do with the fact that there were 2 here. That logic holds for every single one of these. Okay. Is 4 possible? With 4, you could either see 2 skyscrapers or 3, right? If you see the 4, then the 5, then the 6, you saw 3 skyscrapers. But if you see the 4 and then the 6, you've only seen 2. So if the skyscraper is 2 or 3... I mean, this seems really possible in like a number of ways, just thinking about it. If the skyscraper clue is 3, it's definitely not the tens digit. We can't have them adding up to 30. So it would be 13. It would be a 4. The skyscraper clue would be 13. So the numbered room clue would be 1. So this would be a 1. That doesn't work. But now we're talking about logic specific to this cell. Right? This could be 4 and this could be a 1. That's fine. We need to be careful. But also the skyscraper doesn't need to be 3. It could be 2. In which case, it's not the tens digit again for the same reason. 4 digits can't add to 21 or whatever. So it would be 12. But now 4 digits can pretty easily add to 12, I think. These would add to 9. They could be 3 and 6. They would be 3 and 6, I guess. Oh, but that doesn't work. Because then these would both be 4. So let me double check that. If this were 4, and the skyscraper were 3, it can't be 30-something, so it's 13. So the numbered room clue is 1. So that would be a 1, and it's not. So the skyscraper would have to be 2. Now we're looking at 12, because it can't be 20-something. So if these 4 add to 12, and this whole thing adds to 21, these would have to add to 9. 1, 8, we don't have 8. 2, 7, we don't have 7. 3, 6 is possible. And 4, 5. Well, it's not 4, 5, and if this is 3, 6, what is this? It's not 3, 4, or 6. So these can't add to 9, so these can't add to 12. So it's broken. That is not 4. So I feel like 3 is going to be much more open. But let's think about, can it be 3? I mean, the X sum now is pretty difficult, right? The highest this can be now is 3, 5, 6, adding up to 14. So the X sum adds up to 11, 12, 13, or 14. It needs to be a 2-digit number. It can't be bigger than 14. But the numbered room clue can never be 1. Because we can't put a 1 in here. It's too low. Right? Even with 6, 1 only adds to 10. But we can't have a 0 as any of our digits. So there's no 1 here. But the 3 is telling us where the numbered room clue goes. So the numbered room clue can't be a 1. So the 1 is the skyscraper clue. But we're definitely seeing more than one skyscraper. We're seeing a 3 and then eventually a 6 at least. So the 1 that we know has to be the tens digit can't be a numbered room or a skyscraper, so 3 doesn't work either. This does have to be 6. Wow. So now the X sum clue is 21. The skyscraper is the 1, so the numbered room clue is the 2. So the 2 goes in the 6th position here and also here. These are not 6. Now does 3 break for the same reasons we looked at? If that's a 3, this X sum clue is between 11 and 14. So there's a 1 as one of these digits, but it can't be the skyscraper and it can't be the numbered room. Yeah, that's still true for both of these. 3 is not possible for either of these, and now 6 is not possible for either of these. So these are both 4. We can't have 4 digits in this puzzle ever add up to 20-something. Only 6 can get up to 20-something with 21. So the 4 is always 1-something, and that 1-something is never the skyscraper, because we're seeing the 4 and then eventually the 6. So the 1 is always the numbered room clue, so the 1 goes in the 4th position, and thankfully it works with both of these. I guess I'll go ahead and take some 4s out of here. They come out from the middle though, so it doesn't really propagate along the thermometer the way that we saw in the other puzzle. So we know that these two are 21, and we've basically already used all the information. We've used the skyscraper, numbered room, and X sum information from both of these. So we're just looking at these, where we've used the numbered room information, but we have the X sum and the skyscraper information. So if this was 12, we need to see the 6 before we see the 5, because the skyscraper is a 2. And then also these sum to 12, so these sum to 7. So it could be, it couldn't be 5. Oh, that doesn't work. Because we're starting with a 4, we either see 4 and 6 or 4, 5, and 6. So the skyscraper is either 2 or 3. If the skyscraper is 2, the X sum is now 12. These sum to 12, those sum to 5, so these sum to 7. But they're not 1, 6, and they're not 3, 4, so they're exactly 2, 5. But the thermometer tells us that can't be 2. So this would be 5 and this would be 2, but remember that 2 is the skyscraper clue in this example, but we're seeing the 4 and then the 5 and then the 6, so the skyscraper clue is wrong. So the skyscraper is not 2. The skyscraper is 3. So this clue is 13. So this is 13 minus 5. These sum to 8. So it's either 6 and 2 here, which it's not, or it's 5 and 3, or 3 and 5. So this is a 3-5 pair. We're definitely seeing the 4, and then the 5, and then the 6, so the skyscraper clue is correct. This is a 2-6 pair. And the 2 goes this way around. And now we look here, I guess. Again, the skyscraper clue is either 2 or 3, so we're either looking at 12 or 13. If it were 12, these would sum to 7. It wouldn't be 3-4, or we'd be repeating the 4, so it would be 2-5 here. Which again means we're seeing the 4 and then the 5 and then the 6. But the skyscraper clue is 2, not 3, so that's also wrong. So the skyscraper here is also 3, and the X sum is also 13. So these sum to 8. 2 and 6 is possible this time, as well as 3-5, except the 6 is not possible because now the skyscraper clue is 3, so we need to see the 5 first. So this can't be 6. So this can't be 2. Now we have a 3-5 pair. Well, the thermometer tells us which way around these go. The lower one must be lower on the thermometer. And this is now lower than 3, but not 2. So that's a 1. And I think we're done with all of these very complicated rules. We have the X sum, 4, 5, and then eventually a 6. We have the skyscraper. We have the numbered room for everything. So this is now just a regular 6x6 Sudoku, and it should just fill in very nicely. I don't know that I like this puzzle very much. You kind of just needed to go through a lot of possibilities of a fairly complicated rule set. One, 2, 6 here? Yeah, okay, and 2, 6 means that's a 1. Three, 5 here in this order because of this 3. 6 means 6. 6, 2. Not 2, so 2. Oh, 5 means 1, 5, 1. That's a 4. That's a 4. That's a 5. 1, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Ooh! That was some, you had to hold a lot in your head on that one. Yeah, this, it up-fronted all the work, you know? Imagine if it gave you a couple of digits in some of these to go on. You could start to narrow things down, and then as you filled more digits in, it narrowed these ones down. That's more the sort of puzzle I like. Let me hop on cracking the cryptic. Important to say that correctly. The most recent puzzle I haven't solved is titled The Most Bonkers Miracle Sudoku. Miracle Sudoku is... It's basically... It's like this puzzle, really. It's a very... The rules are very constricting, such that you don't need barely any information in the grid. You can sometimes have a completely blank grid, or like 1 digit or 2 digits in it. And then the rules are so constrained that you're able to solve the whole thing. And that means if you're not able to spot the big break-in, you can just be staring at an empty grid for a while. And I find that kind of intimidating. Trying to find one that's like just the right difficulty. How's everyone doing on a Thursday afternoon? Has anyone got me on like a second monitor at work? Whoa. Time to wake up. Atelier Sophie 2 has got some music it wants you to listen to. This puzzle is called Extreme Tetris, and that interests me. Oh, I've got a bot in here while I was looking. Alright, you ready for this? This is called... I'm not sure how to say this. Philomeno or Filomeno? I feel like I've kind of heard both. Philomeno. I like it because it sounds like domino. Philomeno Nights by Die Hard. Normal Philomeno rules. I guess I kind of usually say Filomeno now that I think about it. You're probably going to hear both. Normal Filomeno rules apply, i.e., divide the grid into regions of orthogonally connected cells. Orthogonally connected means that they share an edge, right? These are orthogonally connected. These are diagonally connected. So this is no good. You gotta come at these regions sideways, literally. So we're dividing the grid into regions. Fill each cell with a number equal to its region size. So if this were a region, we would put 4 into every cell because it's 4 cells big. If it was 6 cells, then we'd put 6 into all of them. No two regions of the same size can share an edge. So if this were a 6 cell, we would know that none of these could belong to a 6 cell region. They can touch diagonally. You could have a 6 here and a 6 here. That's okay. Use only region sizes of 1 to 9, and the digit n cannot appear in row n or column n. So there are no 1s in row 1, column 1. There are no 2s in row 2, column 2. There are no 3s in row 3, column 3. Two digits separated by a black dot must be in a 1-to-2 ratio. We've seen those in an earlier puzzle, so if region sizes are only 1 to 9, then the digits inside are only 1 to 9, and so it's typical Sudoku digits. So the only valid pairs where one is twice as big as the other is 1 and 2, 2 and 4, 3 and 6, and 4 and 8. Cells separated by a single knight's move in chess cannot contain the same digit. So if this were a 3, a knight's move away would be all of these squares. None of these squares could be a 3. Which is, in my experience, the easiest rule to forget exists in the puzzle. So, we'll all have to work together to remember the rules. I've definitely been stuck on a puzzle for like 45 minutes and then finally reread the rules and went, oh my god, it's a knight's move puzzle, and then away I went. Okay, so how do we get started? I mean, we can circle this as a region, right? That's a 1-cell region. Should I color it? I don't know. Maybe not. We know there's no 1s here. There's no 2s here. We just have these black dots? Really? So if the 2 digits in a black dot are in a 1-to-2 ratio, they're never the same number. So they're always part of different regions. So we can go ahead and divide these right away. And I'll even sort of edge the grid a little bit. This is column 1, so we can't have 1, 2 appear here. So this is 2, 4, 3, 6, or 4, 8. I mean... we can't have the 6 appear here, but this could be the 6 and this could be the 3. And then 2, 4, and 4, 8 seem fine. I mean, 8, if 8 was here, it would be kind of tricky because it couldn't enter the 8th row, so, you know, it would need to stay over here or whatever. That's not a 1, and that's not a 1 because it's in the first row, so there's also no 1 here. Is it even worth pencil marking that these are like 2, 4, 3, 6, or 8? I don't know. And then we have this Knight's Move rule. That influences the way that regions can grow, right? Because you have to have the same number in like a lot of places. Oh, it is in column 6. Okay, so there's no 3, 6. So that's pretty limited. One of these is a 4. It's either 2, 4 or 4, 8. And that's not the 2. But it could be 2, 4 this way. But I want to come back to my point about 8. 8's a lot of numbers, right? Like, let's say you were like, oh, here's my 8-cell region with 8s in it. Well, these are Knights move away from each other. They're in conflict. And also these, and also these, and also these, and this, and... to have an 8-cell region not have any of its 8s and Knights move away... is that even possible? You can put 8 there. Without loss of generality, you could put 8 here. You could put 8 here. But now you can't put it here, or here, or here, or here. I mean, you could have a line, huh? You could have 8 here, here. Oh, but now you can't have 8 here, or it's a knight move away from these. And that's true of all of these points. And then this is a knight's move away from this, so you couldn't have 8 in any of these squares. So I've broken it by going for this cross shape. The moment it sticks out even once, I think it's broken. Like, just to be clear, you could have a column of 8s, right? Because the knight's move is in this sort of pattern, you can see there's this empty column, an empty row in the middle where you're home free. Right? But imagine if at some point the 8 bumps out. That's always going to look into the next column. I think that's true. No matter where it is. What if even if it's at the very end, it's always going to see down one end another 8. So if there is an 8 region, it's always a big line. But like Walkenut has pointed out, here's the 8th column and here's the 8th row. How do we fit a line 8 long that doesn't crash into it? We only have 7 cells in this direction and 7 in this. So we can never have an 8 cell region in this puzzle. Wow. So this is not 4-8, this is 2-4, and we know it's exactly in this order. This is not 4-8. That's not the 6 and that's not the 3. Also, hey, Internet Dirigible. Does that mean no 7 or 6? 7 could be a line of 7. Oh, but the 7... Oh! But now it's not... We're not fitting it in an 8x8. We're fitting it in the 7x7, which leaves us with a 6x6, which has no room for a 7. And then if you had a line of 6, that would have to fit... That would have to not cross this threshold. And there's nowhere for a line of 6. A line of 5 would have to cross this. It doesn't fit. A line of 4, though. You can have a line of 4 down here. So you can't have straight lines of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's look at... If you had 4 in a row, and you can't add 5 here or here, you couldn't add 5 anywhere here either without running into a Knight's Move problem. So 5 doesn't work at all in a line, starting from 4. But yeah, there is this cross shape. You can't have... I'm trying to find some sort of generalized rules, right? I think if you ever have 4 in a row, you're in trouble. The only time you can bump out to the side is when this is truncating this on either side, like this. Once you bump out to the side, you restrict this to a size of 3. So this 6 could be here, but then there's nowhere for another 6. So you can't have 6, 7, or 8 in this puzzle. And 5 is only the cross shape. That's cool. So that's not a 3, that's not a 6, so this is also 2 and 4. So if we can never have a 6 and we can never have an 8, these dots are always 1, 2, or 2, 4. And our regions are only ever of size 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Okay. This can't be 2, 4, or this would have no value. Wait, no, it's not a Sudoku. It's fine. It's a Philomeno. This is part of some region. It can't be a 1 because it's in the first row and column. It can't be a 2 because it needs to grow, and it would always grow into the second row or column. So that is a 3, 4, or 5. It's not a 5, or we're going to run into the the knight's move problem, right? 5 can only be a cross. It can't be 4 either. If it was 4, we either have this where it crashes into the 4th row or column, or it bends in exactly an L shape. And the L shape always has the 2 tips and knights move away from each other. 4 can only be a T'd, I think, right? Oh, no, in this quadrant, 4 can be in a line because it's avoiding the 4th column and the 4th row. But it can never be an L. Oh, 4 could be a square also. Or, no, not this. There's 5 sort of Tetris shapes, right? Once you get rid of the reflections. So the L and the J are both out, because these are always a knight's move away. The S and the Z are both out. So there's the I, the O, and the T. The I is valid here. The O and the T are valid everywhere. We also need to remember that we're just talking about one region here, but if we had a 4 region here, it becomes very difficult to put a 4 region anywhere close to it, right? The knight's move restriction is eliminating, like, let me just put this in, and then let's look at what numbers can't be 4, right? This one rules out, I mean, maybe I should put in a valid shape first. This one rules out all of those. This one rules out all of these. This one rules out all of these. And that one rules out. So, like, look at the influence this has. It's huge. There can only be, like, a couple 4 regions in this whole puzzle. And then the 1s and 2s, I'm kind of flabbergasted that this even has a solution at all. Well, okay, let's get back to this. We know this is a 3. It does not grow to the 3rd row or 3rd column, so it looks exactly like this. We can already do things like, these are both knights moves away from 1 and 4, so like these are 2, 3, or 5. This is a knight's move away from 2 and 3, so, and it can't be a 4, so that's a 1 or a 5. Yeah, that's exactly it, Internet Dirigible. Use only regions of sizes 1 to 9, and the digit n cannot appear in row n or column n. I thought I clicked loop on the music, but YouTube is taking me somewhere else. Yeah, we could have like a 5 here, for example. That looks probable, even. Oh yeah, none of these are 4. This could be a 1, I think, if this were a 5 cross. Oh, it's the first row. You're right. So this can't be 5. The only way for this to be part of a 5 is a cross exactly here. This couldn't be part of a 5 because that's not a valid cross, that's not a valid cross, that's not a valid cross, and that's not a valid cross. This is not 5. So that is a 1. If this is a 3, it has to avoid touching this, because regions of the same size can't touch each other, remember? So it has to grow away from it, so it would look like this. That seems okay to me. And the 3 column. If it's a 2, it needs to grow away from this 2, so we would have this, and that also looks okay. That's not 5, question mark? Maybe this could be a cross of 5s. Not this, that touches the 5th column. I don't immediately see what's wrong with this. I guess this is a knight's move away from a 1 and a 4. That's a 2-3. It's not a 5. Yeah, it just barely avoids the death zone here. This is not a 1 or a 3. 2, 4, 5. It can't be. Oh, it could be 5 as part of the same. Okay. That's a 2 or a 4. Because the 5 cross doesn't work. It's the first row, and it's next to a 3. 4 doesn't work, does it? It would have to go down here, then it would have to come here, and then it couldn't turn, or we'd run into a knight move problem. So it would have to go into the 4th row. So this is 2. Now that doesn't mean that these are 2 2s connected, right? These could be 3 3 3, this could be 2, I think. Which is very annoying. But by knight's move, these are not 2. What is that square in row 1? Oh, this, you just spotted it. Yeah, well done. Down can't be 2? Row 2, you're right. Yeah, this 2 goes somewhere and it doesn't go into row 2. So this 2 does not go here, it goes here. So what is this? It's not a 1 in row 1. It's not a 2. If it's a 3, it goes down to row 3. And it's not a 5, so it is a 4. It must come out, and it connects here. And now we know that the 4th cell does not make an L or an S, so it needs to make a T. I bet this is a 5, isn't it? Whatever this is, it needs to grow, right? It's not this 1 or 2, and it's big. So it grows to here, and at that point, it can't be a 3. I mean, it's been in the 3rd row this whole time. It's a 5. This puzzle's tough. So this is not a 1 or a 2 or a 4. That's a 3 or a 5. Could be another 5 cross. No, it couldn't. That would be a 1. So it's not a 2 because it's next to a 2. It's not a 4 because it's a knight's move away. It's not a 1 because of the row. And it's not a 5 because that strand's a 1. So it is a 3. And so what? Well, this can't be a 2, because it would grow here into the second row. And it's not a 1. It's not a 5, because that just can't be. So it's a 3 or a 4, and something tells me 4 is a problem. This ensures that it could never visit these 2 cells, right? That's a knight's move, that's adjacent. So these would be like no-go zones if this were 4. Oh, look. No, okay. Yeah, the only way for it to fill out with 4 cells is to trap the 3 as just a 1-cell region. So it can't be 4, it is 3. Which is looking at this now, so this can't be 2, 3, or 4. This is 1 or 5. 5 looks pretty decent. Coloring all non-4s. Bum, 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 bum. I'm getting spoiled on the sequel to Atelier Sophie's music, which I do consider a spoiler. Such is my sensitivity to such things. But it's good. I don't want to turn it off. Also, I just want to focus on this puzzle. I guess let's look here. It's not a 1 because of the column. It could be a 2. But if it's not, it's a 4, and the 4 extends here into the 4th row, so it is a 2. It's an easy win. The 2 must grow, so it must go here and then finish. This can't be a 2 now, because it can't grow and touch this, and it can't grow into the 2nd column. So that's 4, that's 2. This 2 does not grow in this direction. Excuse me. That came out of nowhere. Let me drink some water. The 2 does not go into the 2nd column, so it grows down. So this is a 4. It could be a box. Could be a T-shape in a number of ways. This is not a 1 in the 1st column. It's not a 2. It's not a 5. So it's a 3 or a 4, and it grows to there. I guess I will color these. How about this? Not a 1, it's not a 2. It's not a 5, because the only way to do it would be like this, touching this. So that's also a 3 or a 4. You think this can't be a 4? I think it could join to this 4 region. And then it could be a box in the corner. This can't be 4? What's wrong with, like... Oh, you're right. As a 4 region, this 4 sees this by knight's move. And it can't be part of the same region, right? This is like 6 cells in order to connect. So this is like a no-go zone for 4. So it comes here, but then what? It either goes into the 4th column or it makes an L. You're right. So this is not 4, that's 3. So that's also 3. It doesn't go to the 3rd column, so it goes there and finishes. surprising what you're able to work on in this puzzle. 4 by Knight's move sees this. So this is not 4. It could be 1. It's not 2 in the 2's column. It's not 3 by Knight's move. Oh, it could be 4. No. How these doesn't matter if they're part of the same region. This is a 4. This can't be a 4. So sorry, it's not a 2, it's not a 3, it's not a 4, it's not a 5, it is a 1. That's not a 1. That's a 2. So the dot indicates that this is the 1. This could be a 2, though. This could be the 2 region. By Knight's move, this is not a 1. This can't be a 2. If it grows in this direction, it's touching this. If it grows in this direction, it's a Knight's move away from this. That's a 3. But we've left the 3rd row and column behind here, so it's less restricted. All of this is going to be much less restricted. I feel like I just need to like pick a cell and look at it and see what's up with it. This looks kind of interesting because it sees the 3 by Knight's move. It sees a 2 by Knight's move. So this 2 doesn't grow in this direction. This could be a 1. It sees a 4 and it sees 5. Wait. So it's not 2, it's not 3, it's not 4 or 5. It is a 1. It was just sitting there waiting for us to find it. Column 9. That's not 4 because it's the 4th row. If this were a 4, it's gonna run into trouble, right? These all get blacked out as Knight's moves from various. So this 4 region doesn't have enough room to grow. True. I think we're on the last loop of this song. I gotta be careful. What if YouTube's like, hey, check out this very copyrighted music next? Can this still be 5? We could end up with something like this. These could all be 5s. I don't want my VOD to get muted. I've got a playlist of VODs that you can check out under my stream. And every now and then someone actually does that. Also, this is pretty morbid, but I like to think that if a meteor were to crash on my house and I would die, there are these like immortalized memories of me. Okay, it's giving me more Atelier Sophie 2 music. And this one's called Destructive Disruption, which sounds like not the kind of background music I want for my Sudoku solving. What if we brought back Persona, huh? Persona 5 chill music. There is a 5 there, says why bother? Oh, I think I mixed up with Walconut, who has a WA name all neon green. Sorry if I did that. Let's see. There's a 5 there. Row 3, column 7 is forced to be a 5. Interesting. I don't quite see how to rule out 1. It's not 2, 3, 4. What's wrong with ones like this, right? Because the knight's move would make this 2 and that 1. It would mean this was 5, and that's broken. Okay. That is 5. Which we know needs to be in a cross shape, which doesn't look like this. Doesn't look like this. It's touching the 5th row. So it does look like this. So we could kind of do something where we consider what the overall makeup of this is, right? This is 5 cells. 3 of them are taken up by a 3 region. So if we put a 1 region in, we need to put another 1 region in? And I guess that's possible. In fact, I think that's necessary. If this were a 2, it grows into the 2nd row and breaks. So it is a 1. So that's not a 1, so this is a 1 and that's a 3. That's a 2. It is looking very symmetric, isn't it? The 2, I was going to say doesn't grow into the 2nd column, but that is the 8th column. This is different, though. So the symmetry that's sort of formed by the NN row column rule gives you symmetry on this diagonal, and it's broken a little bit. This 3... No, we could have 3 like this. No, we can't. Then the 4 would be broken. If this is a 3, we have a 3 and a 4 competing to get out of this area. They can't both go through here. So it is a 4. The 4 region, whether it takes this or not, definitely takes this cell in order to get out. And then we have the lyrics. It's so chill, though. I'll try to talk through it. Maybe I'll just reduce the volume. If the 4 doesn't take this cell, it leaves a vacuum of 1 cell next to a 1, so we can't do that. So here's our O. This is not a 2, 3, or 4, and then Knight's move says it's not a 1. So we get another 5 cross here. Exactly where we thought it might be. This, I think, could very easily be a 2, but could still be a 1. If it is a 1, this 2 grows this way, which seems okay. It means that's... Oh, no. If that's a 1, that's a 2 by the black dot. And now this 2 grows and we've got a 2 region that's too big. So this is not a 1. It is a 2. Making that a 4. Making that a complete region. The 4 needs to stay away from this cell. But it could take this, and it can do kind of a lot of things, I think. 3 doesn't have anything getting in its way. Yeah, I was wondering, once we thought about these 5s, if it could ever be possible to not have these 5s. Alright, the early rows and the early columns seem to be the most restricted, so let's cast our gaze this way. 1 seems okay, 2 is not, 3 and 5 are not. So it's a 1 or a 4. 4 would have to grow into the 4th column, so it is a 1. It's getting harder without the row and column restrictions. Alright, how about this guy? It's not a 4, we're in the 4th row. It's not a 5. It's a 1, 2, or 3. It's not a 2. It's a 1 or a 3. You think that's a 2? If it's a 1, that's a 2, and it's a knight's move away. Okay, just missed the knight's move. So that's 2, so it grows there. 1 or 4, I think still... No, 1 by knight's move. That is a 4. Is it possible that these are not part of the same region? Well, let's just sort of get out of the way. The 4s can't grow to these squares. This is cutting off this square. That also is cut off by knight's move. So if these don't connect, this is forming an L shape and breaking. So they do connect. Now they can form a line now that they're in this box here. They're away from the 4th row and the 4th column. So I think any of these are valid. I think the only digit this can't be is 2. Well, it can't be 5, I guess. It's in the 5th row and column. I don't remember hearing the guitar in this track. I remember a synth. It's lovely. This square? Oh, the knight's move has lined up kind of amazingly here, you're right. 1, 2, 4, 5. That is a 3. Now the 3 could bend like this, and that could be 4 or 1. Or the 3 bends like this, and that's a 1. This sees 3, 5, and it's in the 4th row. So it's a 1 or a 2. One would force 2 here. Seems okay. This square sees 2, 3, 4, 5s. That's a 1 all of a sudden. This square sees 2, 4, 5. That's a 1 or a 3. This is a 2, 3, or 4. I think. Don't think I'll mark that. We are theorizing there's going to be a 5 here. This can't be 1 or 4. Ruling out 2 or 3 is going to be tough, I think. I mean, if it was a 2, it couldn't grow to either of these squares by knight's moves, so it would be exactly this as a 2. Why that's some great sin, I really can't see. Oh. Wait. What was I theorizing? This? Yeah, this can't be a 2, because this 2 grows to one of these 2 squares. This is not 1, 2, or 4. This is 3 or 5. And you think this isn't 3? I forget what square we were looking at. So if this were a 3... both of these, I see, become not 3, and this thing gets pincered. Okay. So it is 5. Which doesn't go into this square. This has a knight's move interruption. So it is indeed exactly where we thought it would be. We have a problem if that's a 4, right? It's going to grow and crash, so that's a 1 or a 2. If it's a 2, it grows here and clashes, so it's a 1, which forces that to be a 2. That's a finished region. If this 4 comes down here, that's a 1 or a 3, that's a problem. If it's a 3, it doesn't have enough space. If it's a 1, we have another 1 next to it. So this is not 4. So the 4 grows this way. Which means that's a 3. So how are we filling this? It's either a 1 and a 2, which touches, or a 1 and a 1 and a 1, which all touches. So it's 3s. How about this? It's not 3, 4, 5, or 2. That's a 1. This still could be 1 or 2, I think. This is not 1, 5, and this 2 is going to touch it no matter which way it goes. So that's a 3 or a 4. And it definitely needs to leave this region, right? The 2 is going to take one of these. So there's only one other digit left for this to take, and it needs to get to size 3. So it extends up to there, whatever it is, at least. And if it's 4... No, it could be like a line like this, I think. You think that has to be 2? If it's 1, that's 2. This is not 1, 2, 3, or 5. This would be a 4. And the 4 would grow and break, I guess. That is a 2. Getting down to it. This is not a 1, 3, 2, or 5. So now this is a 4. I see. We're gonna end up with a square, aren't we? This 4, no matter how it grows, definitely touches here. And if this is connecting to here, it can't also grab both of these, or we're gonna end up with a 5 length 4 or bigger. So this is not 4. These are 3. So the 2 and the 3 are filling this area exactly. And the knight's move tells us that it goes there. Whoop. And now there's only these squares left for the 4s to take. So hopefully the solution code is the 4 corner digits in any order. 3. What does it mean, solution code? Well, that's that. In 2.5 hours. Do I have any more puzzles in me? I think I got one more. Alright, I'm interested in this one. It seems to hint that there is a chain reaction. Oh, it's a Logic Masters Germany thing? Okay. Thermonuclear Reaction by Eric Rathbun. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits cannot repeat within a cage. We've seen those. Digits along a thermometer increase from the bulb end. We've seen those. Cells separated by a black dot contain the digits in a 1:2 ratio. We've seen those. Not all dots are given. So we got big cages. These cages don't have a total, but they don't have to, because these are 9-cell cages in which digits can't repeat. So with only the digits 1 to 9 available, they must contain 1 of every digit. And those add up to 45. We've got these thermometers, so digits increase from the bulb of the thermometer, right? That's lower, that's a little bit higher, that's higher still. These are in a 1:2 ratio, like 1:2 or 2:4 or 3:6. And that's all we need to solve the puzzle. So we've got some regions. Wait, this isn't Persona 5. Now I'm getting Persona 3 spoilers. This is effectively another region of the Sudoku, right? It contains all of the digits from 1 to 9. But these two columns are two Sudoku regions. These are two lots of the digits from 1 to 9. So if I have two sets of the digits from 1 to 9 and I deduct this one set of the digits from 1 to 9, I'm left with this odd group of cells is also one set of the digits from 1 to 9, once each exactly. And that's true of this, and this, and this, and they're sort of sharing these digits in these corners. So I'm sure there's something quite special about these digits. I mean, there's also just the fact this digit needs to live in this cage somewhere, because every digit does. And whatever it is, it doesn't appear anywhere here. So this appears at the start of this thermometer. This is sort of a different way of thinking. But that's kind of interesting, right? Let's say it's this one. Now we have some digit that needs 3 digits before it and 2 digits after. So it needs to be at least a 4, but no bigger than a 7. And that's true whether it's over here or over here. So that is a 4, 5, 6, or 7. This is a 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I feel like what we're sort of meant to do is... yeah. This needs to appear somewhere in this region. Well, it can't... we can't have this appear here and that appear there, because this number is smaller than this, right? If that's 1 and that's 4, we then can't put 1 at the end of a thermometer that starts with 4. So there's something cyclical we need to avoid. But let's say this goes over here, right? And let's say this appears here. Now that's a 1, 2, 3, or 4, but it's at the end of this thermometer, so it can't be 1 or 2. That's now 3 or 4. That's 2 or 3. That's 1 or 2. This is now 3 or 4. That's 4 or 5. That's 5, 6. That's 6, 7. And then the 6, 7 is here. That's 7, 8. That's 8, 9. That sort of thing. This digit... this digit isn't on a thermometer or anything, so it's fine if it's very high or very low or anything. Now I just arbitrarily set that there, but it's the same... no, it's different if it's here, isn't it? It only has one number less than it. Wherever this goes, though, it needs one number less than it. So it's not 1. But that doesn't narrow this down the way that we really want it to. There's definitely something going on with these cells. And what does it mean that, like, this is one set of the digits from 1 to 9, and this is one set of the digits from 1 to 9, and this hang on. Let me switch these colors. Let me Okay. I have a deduction. I don't think it helps very much. So I wonder if it's even worth explaining. It's cool. and then I'll catch up on what you guys are saying in the chat. This music is not chill. I asked for chill Persona music. I mean, I love this song, but it's not chill. Like, Last Surprise is in here. I've been let down. Does anyone have any chill video game music? So, I'm gonna explain set to you. Some of you already know, and it's a lengthy explanation. Apologies, but those of you who don't know, this is cool. I think if I told you that this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, rather, if I told you that this was 7, 8, 9, it would be pretty obvious to you that this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? These were the same set of digits. There's a way to sort of generalize that idea. And it comes from set theory in mathematics, where just like really basic, if you had an equation like 5 equals 5, and you subtracted 2 from both sides, you would still end up with 3 equals 3. You would still end up with an equality, right? If you have the same thing on both sides, and you do the same thing to it on both sides, then you end up with an equality still. Both sides are equal. You can do that with sets of digits. If you have 2 equal sets of digits, and you say remove the same digits from both, then you end up with equal sets of digits still. And so you can do this with Sudoku. I'm going to choose... We already did the logic to show that this is a set of the digits from 1 to 9, right? Well, maybe let me do the really easy example. If I take this set of the digits from 1 to 9 and put it on the left side of the equation, I'll use the green to mark that, and I take these sets of the digits from 1 to 9 and put it on the right side of the equation in purple, you can see these digits are green and purple. They're in both sets. So I know that I can remove these from both sides of the equation by taking them out, and I end up with an equality. These are the same sets of digits in green and purple. So this, is a very long-winded way of proving that sort of obvious thing. But I think if I were to add in this to the green and this to the purple and then remove the digits that are in both sides again, it's much less obvious that these 10 purple digits are exactly the same 10 green digits. But it's true. It's true of any Sudoku that has this sort of 3x3 box arrangement, which is most of them. So you can do some surprising things with it, and one thing I'm going to do is take this region, which we know is one set of the digits from 1 to 9, and this region, which is one set of the digits from 1 to 9, and I'm going to subtract this region and this region, and you can see the corner boxes completely cancel out. They're in both sets. And so you're left with these 2 digits are exactly equal to these 2 digits. So whatever this 2, 3, or 4 is, it lives here because it's not this 5, 6, or 7. And whatever this 5, 6, or 7 is, lives here because it's not this 2, 3, 4. I don't know exactly what to do with that yet. And also now I need to change the colors because these are the same digit. So that's usually how I give them the same color when that's the case. So now whatever this is, lives here in this cage, or it lives here in this cage. Well, yeah, these get pushed onto thermometers though, right? Because it needs to appear in this cage, and it doesn't appear anywhere here. So this does end up on a thermo here somewhere. This does end up on a thermo here somewhere. This does end up on a thermo here somewhere. And this does end up on a thermo here somewhere. And so I feel like we need to have like a twisty motion. Like if this is here, this is here, this is here, this is here, or something. Like, do we have a clash if we ever try to double back? We certainly have a clash if we double back there. If this goes this way, this is forced to go this way. Which means this can't come here because these are the same digit. So this goes this way. And this number is bigger, so we can't have a bigger number before a smaller number. So then this... Sorry, then this does go that way. So we have this twisty motion. And if instead this went this way, that means this does not go there. This goes here, which means this can't go here, or we have the smaller number on top of the bigger number on the thermometer, so it goes here. And then by Sudoku, this goes here. So we do always end up with that twisty motion. So there's only two possibilities, right? Either these are both purple, and then these are both green. Well, or maybe I'll even mark that. Either we go this way around, or that's purple, that's green, that's green, that's purple. Wait, this is just telling me what I already know. This just means like, yeah, of course, we knew that went there or there. That was how we started this. This has noting this in this way hasn't helped. So Krodox seems to think the left side is... There's more going on here. I don't know that there is. You think 2 is a problem? That can't be the 2, but this could, I think. Oh, I see. That puts 1 on the dot. So we can take 2 out. Which takes 3 out from here, and 4 out from here, and then 5 out from this. So if that were 3 or 4, this would be 1, 2, or 3, making this 1, 2, 4, or 6. That'd be 3, 4. It would be 4. Oh, hang on. Doesn't green have to be 4? This is always ending up at the tip of a 4-cell thermometer. Either here or here. That's straightforward. If this goes here, we can't have 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. So this is always 4. Awesome. So I think it did matter, right? Having to prove this relationship between these digits was the key. So I'm glad I didn't waste everyone's time. That was cool. Now, does everything just fall apart? It's tough to notate this. One of these is a 4, so one of these is a 3, so one of these is a 2, so one of these is a 1. If it's this one, we have this like 2, 1, 2 thing going on. Oh, that put 2 2s in this region. So that's still a problem. So this is not where the 4 goes. This is where the 4 goes. 3, 2, 1. The 7 now goes here. Which is not... I thought we were going to end up with 7, 8, 9 here, but it's not. It's going down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, even, I think. Except not 5, because it's on a black dot. 5 halves to 2.5 and doubles to 10. Neither of those is good for a Sudoku. I won't worry about the black dot. Just keep going with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So the 7 goes... This goes 7, 8, 9. Yeah, the reaction is happening. And that's a 4. So that's a 1, 2, or a 3. That goes 5, 6, 7, 8. Not 8. This goes 6, not 7, 8, 9. I'll give you a bit of credit. This being 4, proving that this couldn't be 3, it was also proving that it couldn't be 2. It had to be exactly 4. But I very quickly spotted this double 2 thing, so it was still important. This is... I mean, it's either 1, 2... It's not 2, 4. So it's either 1, 2, or 3, 6. And it's not a 1, so it's not 1, 2. It's not 2, 4, so it is 3, 6. Okay. Yeah, set is tough. If you don't know about it, you'll just like never solve... First of all, if you don't know about set at all, I don't think you would ever solve this puzzle. Right? You just need to think about it in a completely different way. But then even when you do know set, I had a puzzle I streamed. It was like a 6x6 puzzle. And I was like, okay, this is the biggest digit in the puzzle, and it goes in these places, and then the second biggest digit has a couple places it could go. I spent like an hour trying to muscle my way through the puzzle, and then finally I threw up my hands and said, give me a hint. And someone just said set, and I was like, oh no. You have to see that it is set. And then even when you know that it's set, being able to find the correct regions to highlight is also hard. So it's a tough sort of puzzle. But it's cool. It is really cool to be like, you know what? These are the same sets of digits. Okay, so that's not 6. A shocking development. This 8 is ruling out 8 from all of these, so it's in there somewhere. So 8 is there somewhere. Let's come back to this black dot, I guess. If that's 2, this can't be 1, so it would be 4. If that's 3, it's 6. If that's 6, it's 3. If that's 4, this isn't 2 or 8, so it's not 4. So we end up with this. This 4. Got some 7s. I guess I'll go ahead and get rid of these colors. I had to work pretty hard to get those colors. I'm out of water. This can't be 3? Oh, right. Because that forces 6 here. Can't be, it needs to be bigger than 3, but not 3. So this would be 3, this would be 6, but then the black dot would need another 3 here. Oh. Interesting. Where does 6 go in this region? It doesn't go in the same box, it doesn't go here, and it doesn't go here. So it goes into one of these 2 cells, which is looking, wherever it is, at these 2 cells. We can't put another 6 here. So this is not 3 and 6, it's exactly 2 and 4. And the 2 tells us it goes that way around. That's a 4 there. By Sudoku, one of these is a 4. By Sudoku, one of these is a 4. And then, so the final configuration of 4s is like this. Same thing here. Oop, that was a horrible. Okay. Same thing here with 5s. This 5, rolling out 5 from these squares. So one of these is a 5 in this region, so that's got to be 7. That's got to be bigger, so it's 8 or 9. 7 finds this 7. 7 can't be on a black dot. It's odd, so it halves to a 3.5, doubles to 14, which is too big. So 7 is here. Ah. These 7s give us 7 here, which also gives us 8, and the final 7. The 2 8s. We know what these 3 digits are to complete the funny C-shaped region here. They're 1, 2, and 5. Not 2. So 1, 2, 5, 4, 6, 7, 8 leaves 3 and 9 into these 2 squares. Two has been forcing 1 here for a little bit as soon as I put that in. It's 2 1s. Ah, and then 1 here can't repeat in the region, so that's 1. I feel like I may have missed that sort of logic. I mean, I guess this 1, now that I have it, must appear here. Oh yeah. Thank you. Whoops, 9, 8. That's not an 8? Okay. This is not 4, 8, or 2, 4, or 1, 2. So it is 3, 6 in here. Which leaves us with 2 and 5 to complete the row. And the 2 tells us it goes this way around. These 2s give us 2 here. 1, 5. This is 1, 3, and 6. The 3 goes there. 1, 6 pair. The 3, 6 pair means that's not 6. 6 and 1. 2 digits to finish the column are 1 and 5. So that's a 6. This is 2 and 9 to finish the box and column. It's all coming together now. We have 6 of the digits in this U-shaped region down here, so we need 2, 5, and 9. And this 2, 5 gives us the 9. To finish this region, we need 1, 8, 9. Which leaves us with a 6 in this row here. And a 8. Maybe here's the best place to look. 3, 5, 9 to complete the row. We have a 9. Not very exciting. We have this dot. It's not 1, 2. It's not 2, 4 or 4, 8. If it's 6, 3, it's exactly 6, 3. Wait. It is 6, 3. It's not 1, 2 or 2, 4 or 4, 8. It is 6, 3, and it goes this way around. So that's a 5. The 6 gives us 6 here. So these are 8 and 9. And we have a 9. This is 1 and 5. This is 4, 8, 2. Guess we have to look here. 3 and 9 to finish the column. 4 and 5 to finish the column. We have a 5. 2 and 8 to finish the column and box. That gives us 2, 9, which gives us 9, 3. So I guess this dot is going to be the final thing, right? That clearly can't be 9. And if it was 1, that would have to be 2. So it's 8 and 4. That's not 8 or 4, so it's 2, 8, 4. Either of these is 8. 2 gives us 2, 5. This row is missing 9. 9, 1, 1, 5. Alright, a little bit more work. 2 is missing from this column, and we have this here. So this is a 3 or a 6, and now we know it's a 6. 3, 6. 9 gives us 9, 3. It's 3s. 3 here. 1, 5, and 8. Uh-oh. Where did I go wrong? I've got 2 1s in here. So I've already gone wrong. Mm. Why did I put 3 here? That's a 1. That's a 5. That's an 8. That's a 3? Okay. Thank God it was just at the end. 3140. That's pretty good, isn't it? Simon started his solve 7 minutes and 41 seconds into the puzzle. And then he finished at 52. So he had like a 45-minute solve. I rarely solve it faster than Simon. Especially while explaining. Oh, but I had help. He doesn't have a chat room. So yeah. That means we beat Simon. Well done, everyone. I was honestly pretty proud to spot the set thing, the break-in, as quickly as I did. That's the kind of thing that could take a long time. Well, that was fun. That's all I got for you, though. Thank you so much for watching. I think I'll probably commit to some more Atelier Sophie. We've been listening to some of the music from the franchise today. You're like an alchemist. You gather materials, and you make stuff, and you talk to the people in your town. And you've got a magic book whose memories you're helping to get back, who teaches you alchemy, and seems to know something about some grand treasure that you're a little bit interested in. But mostly you just hang out in a cute space with anime girls and like a couple guys. And the outfits are very... they're very fancy, but also they're very pleasing to look at, I guess. It's a chill game. I'm gonna play it tomorrow morning. If you're only here for puzzles, though, thanks for stopping by. I'll try to mix these in a little more often. These morning streams. Oh, you guys like puzzle games, right? I've been hearing so much about this puzzle game called Blueprints. People have been singing its praises. They've been putting it alongside all of the best puzzle games ever made and saying it's up there with them. I'm pretty interested in it. So I think I'll watch my buddy Exuno play it a little bit. But only a little. At some point, I might decide I don't want to be spoiled. And I may leave. And maybe you will too. No, I'm glad I caught you. Because the first thing I saw was Nox playing Blueprints. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll send them there. And then my eyes glanced down to the bottom to make sure. I think that'll be cool. Well, it sounds like there's going to be a small break while Exuno finishes lunch. But then I'm going to check out a little bit. I'm going to watch for at least a little bit and see what's up with Blueprints. Maybe see you tomorrow for Atelier Sophie. If not, maybe the next few days for more puzzles. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.